She can fake her smile. She can spin her stories. But her body? Her body betrays her every single time. Her eyes shift, her laugh trembles, her breathing falters, and if you know the signs, you'll catch the truth she's desperate to hide. Too many men ignore the evidence right in front of them and end up blindsided. Don't be that man. In this video, I'll expose the guilty body language of a cheating woman, and if you watch until the end, you'll know how to spot it before it destroys you. Subscribe now and join our community of men who are alert and helping others get the relationship they deserve. When a woman feels guilty, she usually leans on her words to cover the cracks. She says, "You're imagining things." Or she laughs and calls you insecure. She'll even flip the script, making you feel like you're the problem. But here's the thing, words can be rehearsed, manipulated, and weaponized. The body is different. Body language slips through the cracks of her self-control. Micro-expressions, posture shifts, and breathing changes are all unconscious. They happen before she even realizes she's exposed. And that's why reading her body is more reliable than listening to her excuses. This is why men who ignore body language often get blindsided. She tells them what they want to hear, but her body has been shouting the truth for months. Sign number 1. The eyes that avoid and the eyes that wander. Let's start with the first sign, her eyes. They're windows into her emotional state. When you bring up a serious conversation about where she was, who she's been with, or why she's distant, pay attention to her gaze. If she avoids eye contact, constantly looks down, or blinks rapidly, that's tension leaking out of her body. She's uncomfortable because the truth is pressing against her. On the flip side, wandering eyes tell another story. If she glances at her phone nervously, keeps scanning the room as though she doesn't want to be fully present, or looks away too quickly when you lock eyes, she's signaling divided attention. There's also the guilty glance, a fast, microsecond look away when you ask a direct question. Most men miss it, but that flash is the body's way of retreating from pressure. Her words may sound calm, but her eyes are confessing everything she won't. Keep watching, because in a moment, I'll reveal the nervous laugh, one of the hardest signs for her to control, and one of the most revealing. Sign number 2. The nervous laugh and shaky voice. Laughter is supposed to be joy, but when it's out of place, it's a red flag. Picture this. You confront her gently about why she's been distant. Instead of a direct answer, she laughs. Not a genuine, warm laugh, but a high-pitched, forced chuckle that doesn't match the moment. That's nervous laughter. It's her body leaking stress while her mind scrambles to cover the truth. You'll often see this paired with changes in her breathing. Shallow, uneven, or audible breaths are the body's way of handling guilt and adrenaline. Her voice might also tremble slightly, crack at unusual times, or sound thinner than usual. Think about it. When someone is calm, their breath is steady, their laugh is genuine, and their tone is smooth. But when a woman is hiding betrayal, the simple act of answering your questions feels like walking a tightrope. Her laugh, her voice, even her lungs, they all give her away. If you've ever noticed these subtle cracks in someone's body language and ignored them, only to regret it later, drop a comment below. Sharing your story could be the very wake-up call another man needs. And make sure you subscribe because every week, I expose the truths most women will never say out loud. Sign number 3. Touch tells the truth. Touch has always been one of the most powerful indicators of intimacy. When a woman is connected to you, when her loyalty is still intact, touch flows naturally. She leans into your hand, she welcomes your arm around her shoulder, and her body softens in your presence. That kind of warmth isn't forced, it's instinctive. But when guilt creeps in, everything changes. The same gestures that once made her feel safe now make her tense. Suddenly, your arm around her feels heavy. Your hand on her waist doesn't relax her, it makes her shift or stiffen. These subtle pulls and recoils aren't accidents, they're the subconscious screaming what her mouth refuses to say. Here's the truth. Touch becomes contaminated by betrayal. If her intimacy is being given to someone else, her body will instinctively create distance with you. But be careful, the opposite can also be a sign. Some women, driven by guilt, swing into overcompensation. She'll kiss you more often, cling to you harder, and touch you in ways that feel almost exaggerated. On the surface, it looks affectionate. But deep down, it feels staged, mechanical, like a performance to convince you, or maybe to convince herself. Either way, whether she recoils or smothers you with sudden affection, the change is not random. Consistency is the mark of genuine intimacy. Abrupt shifts, coldness one moment, forced closeness the next, our guilty tells her body cannot hide. Sign number 4. Defensive posture and fidgeting hands. The body has one job when it feels cornered, to protect itself. And when a woman is carrying guilt, her body instinctively shifts into defense mode, even when her words are saying, "Relax, everything's fine." Watch her posture closely. If, during a serious conversation, she suddenly crosses her arms tightly over her chest, angles her torso away from you, or creates space with objects like pillows, her purse, or even her phone, she's not relaxing, she's shielding. These physical barriers are her body's way of saying, "I don't feel safe revealing the truth." But posture is just one part of the story. The hands often reveal even more. Nervous energy has to escape somewhere, and it usually pours out through fidgeting. You'll see her twirl her hair, bite her nails, tap her fingers, tug at her jewelry, or repeatedly adjust her clothes. At first glance, these habits may look small or innocent, but in reality, they're unconscious leaks of inner tension. The real test comes in moments of direct questioning. Ask her something pointed like, "Who were you with last night?" And don't just listen to her answer. Watch her hands. If they immediately search for something to play with, grip, or hide behind, that's not coincidence. That's her body screaming louder than her words. Because in the end, calm truth sits still. Guilt? Guilt can't keep its hands quiet. Sign number 5. Energy shifts around you. This one is subtle, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. Energy doesn't lie. When a woman is cheating, the energy she once poured into you starts to shift. You feel it when she walks into the room. The warmth is gone. The playfulness has dulled. She's physically there, but her spirit feels distant. At times, the opposite happens. She suddenly becomes hyper-alert around you, overly cheerful, or exaggeratedly sweet. But again, it feels forced. It feels like effort, not flow. That's guilt at work. Her energy can't remain natural because she's carrying two truths, the one she tells you, and the one she's hiding. And her body language, from her stiff hugs to her distracted eyes, reflects the split. And here's the reality. Once you know these signs, you'll never look at her body language the same way again. But there's one final truth that ties it all together, why her body will always betray her before her lips do. Stay with me, because in the last section, I'll give you the final key. Here's the bottom line. The body reacts before the brain can cover it up. She can rehearse her excuses. She can prepare her alibis. She can even cry on cue if she's skilled at manipulation. But she cannot fully command the involuntary language of her body. Every eye movement, every nervous laugh, every pull away, every shift in posture is her subconscious leaking the truth. And that's why men who train themselves to read these signals are never caught off guard. They don't rely on pretty words. They rely on patterns of behavior. And let me make this clear, not every sign alone means she's cheating. People fidget, people get nervous, people have off days. But when you start to see multiple signs stacking up, especially in the moments where trust matters most, it's no longer coincidence. It's a silent confession. Let's bring it together. The eyes, avoiding, darting, or wandering at the wrong moments. The laugh and voice, nervous chuckles, shaky tones, shallow breath. The touch, pulling away or overcompensating with unnatural affection. The posture and hands, defensive crossing, fidgeting, and self-shielding. The energy, the warmth replaced by coldness, or forced overcompensation. Each one on its own could be dismissed. But when they appear together, it's not paranoia. It's proof. Most men don't want to see the truth, so they convince themselves they're imagining things. They give her the benefit of the doubt until the truth explodes in their face. By then, they've already wasted months, sometimes years. Don't be that man. Learn to read the truth she cannot hide. Learn to trust what her body is telling you, even when her lips are feeding you comfort. That's the difference between being blindsided and being aware. If you've noticed these body language shifts in your own life, I want you to share in the comments. Your story may save another man from wasting his time. And if you want more unfiltered truth about women, relationships, and the games most men never see, subscribe now. Because here, I'll keep exposing the signs and patterns no one else will tell you. Her body will always betray her before her words do. The only question is, are you paying attention?